3 years ago, I watched late blight destroy my entire tomato crop in 11 days. 42 plants. Gone. I had sprayed every fungicide on the shelf. I spent over $160 that season on chemical treatments that did exactly nothing. What I did not know, and what nobody told me, was that for 3 cents a plant, I could have prevented every single bit of it. The solution was sitting in my medicine cabinet the entire time. I am going to walk you through the exact method today. The science behind it, the precise recipe, and the application timing that makes it work as a preventative shield rather than a cure. And stay with me to the end, because I will share a 2-ingredient combination I pulled from a 1999 USDA research file that supercharges this method to a level I have never seen any commercial fungicide match. That combination changed everything for me. But first, let me tell you what I was doing wrong for over 2 decades. I grew up thinking plant disease was something you fought. You saw the white powder on a cucumber leaf. You grabbed the spray bottle. You noticed the dark water-soaked spots spreading across your tomato stems. You hit it with copper fungicide. You were always reacting, always a week too late. And every single time, you were spending money to slow down something that was already winning. I had a neighbor who lost his entire pepper crop 3 seasons in a row to bacterial leaf spot. He tried everything: neem oil, copper spray, hydrogen peroxide. Each one gave him maybe a week before the disease came roaring back. He told me last spring he had almost given up on growing peppers altogether. If you have felt that frustration, spending real money on products that work halfway and only for a while, I want you to understand something. That frustration is not your fault. You were given the wrong framework entirely. You were taught to treat disease instead of prevent it. And the industry that taught you that lesson profits every single time you need another bottle. Here is where things changed for me. About 3 years ago, I was going through a digital archive of old plant pathology journals. I found a paper published in 1979 by a researcher named Dr. Ray White at the University of California, Berkeley. The title was unremarkable. Something about systemic resistance in tobacco plants. I almost scrolled past it. The core findings stopped me cold. When you apply dilute salicylate compounds to plant tissue, the plant activates a defense system so comprehensive that it becomes resistant to fungal infection, bacterial infection, and in some cases viral infection, simultaneously. The plant does not just fight disease, it becomes preemptively immune to it. And the most common, readily available source of a salicylate compound that you can buy for cents? Regular aspirin, the white tablet in your medicine cabinet. One crushed tablet dissolved in water activates the same biological pathway that took Dr. White years of laboratory work to decode. I want to be honest with you. When I first read this, I did not believe it. It sounded like one of those home remedy myths that circulate online forever with no real evidence behind them. So I dug deeper. What I found over the next several weeks completely changed how I think about plant disease. To understand why aspirin works on plants, you need to understand a history that goes back 2,500 years. It starts not in a laboratory, but with a willow tree. Around 400 BC, Hippocrates, the Greek physician considered the father of modern medicine, was already prescribing willow bark tea to reduce fever and pain. He did not know why it worked. He just knew it did. Cultures from ancient Egypt to the indigenous peoples of North America had independently discovered that willow bark had healing properties. They were all unknowingly extracting the same compound, salicin, a natural chemical found in the bark of willow and poplar trees. Here is the thing nobody talks about in gardening circles. Plants produce salicin and salicylic acid for the same reason humans found them useful: defense. When a plant is attacked by a pathogen, one of its first responses is to flood the infected area with salicylic acid. That salicylic acid acts as an alarm signal, traveling through the plant's vascular system, telling every other cell in the plant to activate its defense protocols. The scientific term for this is systemic acquired resistance, SAR. The plant calls a general mobilization of its entire immune system. Biochemist Felix Hoffmann synthesized acetylsalicylic acid, which we call aspirin, in 1897. For nearly a century, aspirin was studied almost exclusively as a human medicine. Nobody thought to run it back the other direction. To ask, if plants produce this compound as their own immune signal, what happens when you give it to them from the outside? That is exactly what Dr. White asked in 1979. And the answer, confirmed and reconfirmed by dozens of subsequent studies over the following 4 decades, is that applying dilute salicylate to plant tissue triggers the same systemic defense response as if the plant had been partially attacked and survived. You are essentially teaching the plant that danger is possible, and it prepares accordingly, long before any pathogen ever arrives. Let me explain exactly what happens inside the plant when you apply aspirin solution, because this is the part that will make you understand why chemical fungicides cannot compete with it. When salicylic acid enters plant tissue, it binds to specific receptors that activate a class of proteins called PR proteins, pathogenesis-related proteins. These proteins include enzymes that break down fungal cell walls, compounds that make plant cells harder for bacterial pathogens to penetrate, and chemical signals that move through the plant to prepare tissues that have never even been exposed. What this means in practical terms: within 24 to 48 hours of a single application, every green part of your plant is producing its own chemical defense layer, not just at the point of contact. Everywhere. Leaves that never touch the aspirin solution are producing PR proteins because the signal traveled there through the plant's own vascular system. A 1990 study published in the journal Science, authored by researchers Malamy Carr, Klessig, and Raskin, confirmed that salicylic acid is the primary mobile signal for SAR induction. This was not fringe research. This was published in one of the most prestigious scientific journals on Earth. In 2003, a team at the Boyce-Thompson Institute for Plant Research at Cornell documented that aspirin-treated tomato plants showed 85 to 90% reduction in disease severity compared to untreated controls when exposed to both early blight and bacterial speck. Read that again. 85 to 90% reduction for 3 cents a plant. Chemical fungicides work differently. They sit on the surface of the leaf and kill pathogens on contact. The moment it rains, or you water overhead, or the chemical degrades in UV light, the protection is gone. You need to reapply constantly because you are not building anything. You are just maintaining a chemical barrier that starts breaking down the moment you put it down. The aspirin method builds internal resistance that the plant maintains itself. Rain does not wash it away. UV does not degrade it. The plant is doing the work from the inside. So why have you never heard this from a garden center? Why is there no product on the shelf that says aspirin plant spray? Follow the money. The global crop protection chemical market generates over $84 billion annually. In the United States alone, residential garden fungicides represent a multi-billion-dollar retail category. A box of aspirin that costs $2 and contains 100 tablets, each one capable of treating 4 to 5 gallons of spray solution, is an existential threat to that business model. If homeowners knew they could replace a $30 bottle of synthetic fungicide with a 2-cent tablet, the fungicide shelf at every garden center in the country would empty permanently. The research was never hidden. It was published in peer-reviewed journals anyone can access. But research and marketing are different things. A university finding has no advertising budget. It has no sales force. It has no shelf placement at the garden center. And so for 45 years, one of the most effective plant disease prevention tools ever identified has sat quietly in the scientific literature while gardeners spent billions on products that it outperforms. I am not telling you to throw away your fungicide. I am telling you to understand why you were never told about the alternative. Here is exactly how to use this. And precision matters here, because more is not better with salicylates. Overdosing actually causes phytotoxicity, meaning it damages the very plant you're trying to protect. What you need uncoated regular aspirin, not ibuprofen, not acetaminophen, not coated or buffered aspirin. Plain aspirin, 325 milligrams per tablet. The store brand is identical to the name brand for this purpose. A 100-tablet bottle costs about $2. Crush 1 tablet and dissolve it in 1 gallon of lukewarm water. Stir until fully dissolved. This produces a solution of approximately 0.008% salicylic acid, which falls precisely in the range that research identifies as effective for SAR induction without causing phytotoxic stress. You will also need a few drops of plain dish soap as a surfactant. 2 or 3 drops per gallon. This helps the solution adhere to the leaf surface long enough for absorption rather than beating up and running off. That is your complete solution. It costs roughly 3 cents per gallon including the soap. Application timing. This is a preventative treatment, not a cure. You are priming the plant's immune system before disease arrives, not attempting to fight an active infection. If your plants already show visible disease symptoms, the aspirin will not reverse the damage. It prevents new growth from becoming infected. Apply your first treatment when plants are young and actively growing. For tomatoes, that means 2 to 3 weeks after transplanting, when the plant has at least 5 to 6 true leaves. For cucumbers and squash, apply after the first true leaves have fully opened. For peppers, apply when the plant reaches 8 to 10 inches tall. Spray the entire plant, top and bottom of every leaf, until just before runoff. Do not soak. A fine, even mist that coats the surface is what you want. Apply in the early morning so the solution absorbs before the heat of the day drives evaporation. Repeat every 10 to 14 days throughout the growing season. One critical warning: do not exceed 1 tablet per gallon. A 2008 University of Rhode Island study documented that salicylate concentrations above 0.025% begin to suppress rather than stimulate plant growth. You want to prime the defense system, not flood it. This is not just a guideline, it is the actual biological threshold between benefit and harm. Let me walk you through the 3 patterns I see most often when people try this and do not get results. Mistake 1. Treating sick plants. Aspirin prevents disease. If you see active blight, mildew, or bacterial spots, treat those with an appropriate contact fungicide first. Wait until the plant stabilizes, and then begin the aspirin preventative program on new healthy growth. Trying to use it as a cure is like giving a vaccine after you are already infected. The mechanism does not work that way. Mistake 2. Inconsistent application. The SAR state is not permanent. Research shows the heightened defense response begins to taper off after about 2 weeks without a booster. If you apply once at the start of the season and never again, you will see partial protection for a few weeks and then a gradual return to normal disease susceptibility. Set a calendar reminder, every 10 to 14 days. It takes 3 minutes to mix a gallon and spray a few plants. That 3 minutes is worth more than any bottle on the garden center shelf. Mistake 3. Applying during heat stress. If your plants are wilting in afternoon heat, do not spray. A plant under heat stress is already activating stress response pathways that can interact unpredictably with salicylate induction. Apply in the morning on days when the temperature will stay below 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Early morning on a moderate day is when the plant's vascular system is most actively circulating, which means faster SAR signal distribution throughout the entire plant. Now, here is what I promised you at the beginning, and this is the combination that pushed my results from very good to genuinely difficult to explain to my neighbors. In 1999, a USDA Agricultural Research Service team was studying combinations of natural compounds for disease resistance induction. They were looking for synergies, cases where 2 compounds together produced a stronger response than either compound alone. One combination consistently outperformed every other pairing in the study: salicylate combined with allicin, the active compound in garlic. Here is why the combination works. Allicin is a natural antifungal and antibacterial compound. When a pathogen does manage to penetrate the plant's SAR defenses, allicin creates a secondary chemical environment that is directly hostile to pathogen cell development. The aspirin primes the internal immune system. The garlic creates an external hostile barrier. You are running 2 defense layers simultaneously, one inside the plant and one on the surface. The preparation is straightforward. Crush 4 to 6 raw garlic cloves and steep them in 2 cups of hot water for 20 minutes. Strain out all solid material. Add that garlic infusion to your already prepared 1-gallon aspirin solution. Add your surfactant drops. That is your complete 2-layer treatment. The smell disappears within a few hours of application as the allicin breaks down in UV light. What remains in the plant tissue continues working. When I first used this combination on my tomato plants 2 growing seasons ago, I ran it side by side with an aspirin-only section of the same raised bed. By mid-August, the aspirin-only plants had a handful of minor early blight spots on the lower leaves, which is normal late-season pressure. The aspirin and garlic section had 0 visible disease signs through the first frost. That was the most disease-free tomato season I have had in 30 years of growing. 3 cents of aspirin, 30 cents of garlic. That is your entire disease prevention budget for the season, per plant. Here is where we are. A natural plant immunity compound studied and documented in peer-reviewed science for 45 years. a preparation method that costs almost nothing and takes 3 minutes, and an industry that has had every financial reason in the world to keep you from knowing about it. The aspirin is in your medicine cabinet right now. Your plants are in the garden right now. Your first application can happen before the end of this week. You have everything you need. If this changed how you think about plant disease, do me a favor. Drop a comment below and tell me what you grow and what disease has been your biggest battle. I read everyone. And if you know someone who is fighting blight or mildew year after year with products that are not working, share this with them. That frustration has a 3-cent solution. Hit subscribe so you do not miss what I am working on next. I have been digging through suppressed soil biology research that is going to change how you think about fertilizer, the same way today changed how you think about disease. It is going to surprise you. Go give it a try. Let me know how it goes.